Hello, welcome to episode 223 of the Epic Film Challenge, Mad Dog and Glory. This is a film that feels like I dreamt it. Very, very strange. It stars Robert De Niro as Mad Dog, a cop who is very meek, has very little guts, and I guess you could say he's a bit of a coward at the same time. His buddy, David Caruso, probably more famously known now from CSI Miami, I think, is his cop partner, who is so much more cooler and badass than he is. And there's Bill Murray, who's a mob boss, and he's basically the bad guy of the film, so it's just kind of like, is this film real? Very strange. And Uma Thurman is Glory, the female character in the film, the love interest for Robert De Niro. And I guess she fits into that nicely, and it was like one of her first films. But the whole Robert De Niro and Bill Murray thing is just very strange. Robert De Niro's character, the cop, he wants to be a photographer. Cop is kind of like, what's the word? He became a police officer because he thought he can be any good at as a photographer. Bill Murray's basically a mob boss, but he'd rather be a comedian, a stand-up comic. And the two of them, Robert De Niro and Bill Murray, they become friends early on in the film, kind of, and they have this night out. So, and Bill Murray wants to kind of thank him, and he sends over Glory to his house for a week to say thank you. So he's trying to figure it out, and he's not happy with it at first, and then eventually they fall in love. And he realizes that she's basically owned by Bill Murray, so he wants to kind of free her, basically. It's a bit of a silly film. I was going to say not realistic, but I don't know. I really enjoyed it for some reason. Just 'cause I love Bill Murray, I love Robert De Niro. It was really cool seeing Robert De Niro as something different. It's a completely different character than he normally plays. The same with Bill Murray. I thought Bill Murray was actually really good in this. Uma Thurman's okay. She's pretty good, but you know, not as good as she would be in later films. I think it's just going to be one of those films that's like a guilty pleasure. Like, I really enjoyed it, but I know it's not a good film, if you know what I mean, or it's not a great film. And there's this one bit in it where which really just kind of like lays it out for you, just really plainly, where Robert De Niro's neighbour, this woman, she's getting beaten up by this big guy. So Robert De Niro knocks on the door. He's like, "Hey, you got to stop doing that." And the big guy's like, "Yeah, who are you?" And he's like, "I'm a police officer." He's like, "Yeah, I'm a police officer too." So Robert De Niro's like, "Oh, okay, well, what can you do?" And then the next day he's with David Caruso, his cop partner, in a bar, and he sees the man and the woman. She's got a black eye, and David Caruso just like goes badass, just faces off with this guy, and the guy ends up leaving. And Robert De Niro's like, oh, maybe I should have done that. And David Caruso says, "No guts, no glory, right?" See, that's the film. He needs to get guts so he can have glory. The girl. That was probably the worst part of the film. It's just really cheesy. There's a really funny scene again where he has sex with her the night before. Obviously they fall in love, they have sex, and it's really awkward. And I kind of think, oh, I wish they hadn't put that in the film. But I like that it was awkward because it made it seem more realistic and made you care about the character more. Anyway, they're at a crime scene, and there's this dead body there, and Robert De Niro just flicks the jukebox on and just starts dancing. And the night before, he said to Uma Thurman, Glory, he said, "Oh, it's been 2 years since I made love to a woman," and she's like, "Made love? That's nice. I like that." And then the next day, David Caruso, seeing Robert De Niro dancing around, goes, "Oh, someone got laid last night," and he goes, "I don't get laid. I make love." Just slams the door in his face, like, wow, you really showed him. I would give it an 8 out of 10 for my own personal preference. But I'd say as a film, it's probably around a 5 or a 6. I don't know, something about it I really enjoyed, just because I love De Niro and Bill Murray. So yeah, 8 out of 10.